Hello BookTube, it's Louise from the Big Head Bookworm. How lovely to see you. Welcome back. What have you been up to in February? Here we are on February the 29th, a day that only comes around every 4 years. How exciting is this? It feels all new and fresh for us today. So I'm here with my February book haul. I've done reasonably well. I didn't plan on buying that many books this month and I may have slightly gone above what I had planned, but these things happen and we won't dwell on this. The main problem is I found a new website. New to me, not a new website that's on the interwebs. It is called The Book People, and I just happened to be browsing because in a lot of American BookTube videos they talk about Book Outlet, which I can't find an equivalent in the UK. Now, if anybody knows of an equivalent, then please let me know in the comments. However, I found The Book People, and so I started browsing their website, and I found that they did some amazing collections. So they do collections of authors, or they do the collections like they do the Man Booker 2015 collection. So you can buy all the books, hardback and paperback, and you get it vastly reduced. So I had a bit of a look through, and I bought my mum a nice present, which was a collection of all the Ruth Rendalls that she really likes, the Inspector Wexford novels. I don't have these because I've already given them to her. However, I found all of these. Can I show you that? Look at that. So all of these books, £9.99. Now each one should have been, if I was to pay full price, it actually doesn't say, but I think they are £6.99 or £7.99, and I got them for £9.99. So I got, how exciting is this? So I got Overture to Death, Death at the Bar. Can you tell they're murder mysteries? Surfeit of Lampreys. I have no idea what any of these are about, but I know that they're 1940s crime novels. 1940s, 50? Inspector Allen, Nago Marsh, Artists in Crime. It's Death in a White Tie. I think that's my favourite of all the titles. I think that one is my favourite. I have Colour Scheme, and I have Death and the Dancing Footman. No, I think that's my favourite. Death and the Dancing Footman. So these are, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Nago Marshes, which, as I say, are their classic crime novels. Inspector Allen, you may have seen them on television, but these are the original works. And how lovely is that? And they match this lovely collection. All of that for £9.99. Now, I'm not going to read them all at once. They're going to be one that I might pick up one a month, unless I really get into it. But I really love my crime. I love my 1920s, 30s, 40s crime. So that was just joyful. I also found, don't you love it when this happens, I found these three Daphne du Maurier in this beautiful Virago Modern Classics edition. Modern Classics? Yes, Modern Classics edition. And actually, this one was one that was on my wish list because I wanted to read. I've seen it recommended somewhere that if you're going to read Daphne du Maurier, then this is a lovely one to start with. Now, I have read Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I've read, of course, Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier many years ago, and in fact Rebecca is one of my favourite films. Last night I dreamt I went to Mandalay again. I absolutely love it. It's a classic mystery romance, again set in the 1940s. You can see where my heart dwells, and I love these editions. So I was really pleased because then I saw The Frenchman's Creek, which I have never read, by Daphne du Maurier. All of these three for £4.99, which is just beautiful. And look, they come in this. Oops, that's not very straight, but there we go. How lovely is that? I was so pleased. I was thrilled, I tell you. So that was that's 10 books. And I bought my mum a selection, as I said. I think it was 10 Wexfords, and I got this last one, which is a fantasy masterworks, and Glance do this series of fantasy masterworks, and they also do science fiction masterworks, and I have some of the science fiction masterwork series, but I loved this one. Look, Ombre in Shadow. Ombre? No, Ombra? Ombria. Ombria in Shadow? That'd be it, won't it? Ombria in Shadow. By Patricia A. MacKillop. I've never read it, but it looks gorgeous. So yeah, so I've got that. So what a lovely selection. So I got absolutely carried away. I got all of these books, including another 10, for £30. And it was just, actually I don't think I paid that much, but it was just fabulous. I was so pleased with myself. And then I did my normal month's buying on top of that, but those will last me for ages and ages. So here we go. So the rest of it, I have 2 book club books. I'm in 2 book clubs. This is the one that I in my physical book club where I go each month or each 6 weeks, and we are reading Brooklyn by Colin Tobin, and this is the movie cover edition, which I would never normally pick, but this was the cheap edition that I got hold of, and I'm sure you've seen something about the film. There's an Irish lady who there's no work in Ireland, and so she goes as a young lady, goes to Brooklyn to find work. And it's about that. So yeah, so that's that. And the other book club I am in is called the Feminist Orchestra, and it is a Goodreads book club, the website Goodreads, which is also an app. And it is organised by, I can't remember her name. I will try and find it and put it below. So yeah, she started a feminist book club called the Feminist Orchestra. And it's a feminist book. I don't know whether it's going to be every month or whether it's going to be every 6 weeks or every couple of months. I don't know. And then people are going to discuss it here on BookTube, but also on the other social medias as well. So on Tumblr, on Facebook, and definitely on Goodreads. Now, I'm not really a Facebook gal and I'm not really a Tumblr gal, but I do quite like Goodreads, although I don't rate my books. And I do, of course, like BookTube. So I shall be putting it out on Twitter, and I shall be putting it out on BookTube, what I'm reading. And the book that was chosen, the first book in the Feminist Orchestra, is called I Call Myself a Feminist, The View from 25 Women Under 30. It's edited by Victoria Pepe, Rachel Holmes, Amy Annette, Alice Stride and Martha Moss. Ladies I've never heard of before. Now, I'm not under 30. But I do call myself a feminist, and I'm quite happy to read this. As you can see, it's a huge print. Lordy, obviously these ladies have difficulties with their eyesight. It's a huge print, and it's got quotes in as well as essays. So I'm going through that, and I shall report back. Then we went away for Cornwall for a week during half term in February, and so I treated myself to a little wander around some charity bookshops when I was down there, and I was very pleased. I have got on my list on my bookshelves, which I can't see it, but I've got The Magician by Raymond E. Feist, which is a classic fantasy novel which I have yet to read, and it's the first in a trilogy. And I found, which you can't see it, Silverthorn, which is the second in the trilogy, and I found A Darkness at Stephanen by Raymond E. Feist. So these are the 2 books. So this, hello, upside down. So that's the second one, and then that's the third one. I got it upside down. Why am I doing the upside down thing? So yeah, so I've got those 2. And I picked them up in a charity bookshop, and they were £1 each. So I now have the entire set, which that never happens. That never happens. So I was so pleased, and they're actually in decent condition. I mean, they're not too badly damaged. I don't mind if they are damaged particularly. So I have all 3 now. So I have my little Raymond E. Feist. Let's hope I like it. So that's a fantasy series which I shall be getting to. I don't know when. I also got The Library Paradox by Catherine Shaw. This is a murder mystery series that's set in the 1890s in Cambridge. I have read the first 2, which was The Three-Body Problem and Flowers Stained with Moonlight. And this is the third one, The Library Paradox. So yes, featuring Vanessa Weatherburn as our sleuth. But the first 2 were really lovely. I really liked The Three-Body Problem. Second one, second book in a series, but I shall carry it on because that was £1. Can't refuse that. The other books that I got were a 2 for buy 1 and then get the other half price, and that was My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. That's a bit glary, but here we are. There we are. My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante. This is the first in the Neapolitan, book one in the Neapolitan novels, which is a set of 3. You may have seen, if you've been in Waterstones recently, you will have seen these were one of their picks and one of their bookseller recommends across the chain, I believe. It is a collection of books about, or a trilogy about 2 women growing up together in their entire life. I think it's the Neapolitan novel cycle. Apparently it's really, really good. Elena Ferrante, and I don't know who it's translated by. Doesn't say who it's translated by. I don't know. It's an Italian trilogy. So a bit of translated fiction. The other one I got was also translated fiction, which I didn't realise until I got it home. This is The Little Paris Bookshop by Nina George. And I was most intrigued when I got this home because when I was reading about it and reading in the cover, it said it's already a bestseller in Germany. And I thought, well, got to give that a go. I have no idea. And it is about a bookseller who runs a bookshop on a barge. It's a novel in Paris, and he possesses the rare gift of sensing which books will soothe the troubled souls of his customers. The only person he is unable to cure, it seems, is himself. So it's just a bestseller in Germany already. Got to give it a go. Here we are, and then the last book that I've bought, this is called Deborah Halber. It's called The Skeleton Crew. How amateur sleuths are solving America's coldest cases. And these are about these websites that have been set up where people are trawling through cold cases and spend hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing this, and it becomes an obsession to them, and it's about the cases that they have solved. So I saw this recommended on Eleanor Reads Books channel, and I thought I really love that kind of read, so I shall give that a go. So that was it. So I do quite like that Sherlock Holmes-esque. And then I have a couple of library books here. I'm starting to try some graphic novels. I have never really read graphic novels. I guess I've always had that kind of comics, read comics when I was younger, but not when I'm a grown up. But I've decided to give them a go. And so I got myself this one because I saw this recommended on All the Shelves, I think, as a booktube channel. And she's either recommended it or is going to read it. And it's Noughts and Crosses by Marjorie Blackman. Now, I've heard of the book, the Marjorie Blackman series, and know it is very, very popular. I would say young adult, perhaps. But this was in my library. This was the only one that I could see out of all the graphic novels that wasn't like number 3 of a series of 20. And I thought, well, I've got to start with number 1 really. And I couldn't find a number 1. And I didn't really fancy picking up a DC comic or a Marvel comic. So I thought I'd give this a go. It's a proper graphic novel. I don't know much about it. It's black and white. I'll tell you what I think. Let's give these things a go. Got to try different things. The other 2, the one I have heard of is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Imagine the world at stake, an epic struggle between good and evil, the greatest quest in history. It's basically about gamers, and it's got a lot of 1980s pop culture references, but it's about gamers playing an enormous game. And as my son, who is 7, Benedict, hello my darling, loves his games, and he's completely into computer games. And I used to play a lot of platform games when I was younger, and still do really now. But I thought I'd give this a go. So it's Ready Player One, Ernest Cline. It was really, really popular about 2 years ago on BookTube. I've never read it. And then Wicked by Gregory Maguire. This is the story of the Wicked Witch of the West. And if you've seen the musical, you'll know what it's about. I haven't seen the musical, but I saw this and I thought, I didn't know it was a book before it was a musical. And I thought, I'll give it a go. I absolutely love musicals. I haven't had a chance to go and see it, and I would do. I don't know if it's still on. Is it still on in London? I don't know. But I thought I'd give that a go because it's quite nice. So those are my 3 library books that I've got. So whether or not I'll get to them in the next month or so, or whether I'll have to renew, I don't know. So that's quite a lot of books. A lot of them I don't plan on reading straight away. They're ones that are going to go on my shelves and I will pick up. So like the Nego Marsh ones, I'm going to pick up as I go along. And the Raymond E. Feist, I doubt whether I'll get to it anytime soon. But I was so pleased with all of them. I'm really, really pleased with all of my books this month. So it's been lovely. So yes, how are you pleased with any books that you've got this month? Anything that particular grabs you from anything that I've got there? Do you like 1930s and 40s fiction and crime novels as much as I do? I absolutely love them. It's been lovely chatting. Come back again. Let's do this again, BookTube. It's been great fun. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.